So here's a little piece that I ran onto while I was doing research. It's from a 1780 Gentleman's Monthly Intelligencer, and it's a section on diet. It says, there is at this time residing in Essex a person famed for his mode of living. Being formerly reduced to a state of general weakness from free and luxurious living, he took up a resolution of dieting himself thus. He has a pound of flour and a pint of cold water mixed, and then tied up in a cloth and boiled. And on this food he's lived entirely for many years. Though he is old, he is hearty, strong, vigorous, and active. I thought that was very interesting. Somebody living on nothing but flour, a flour pudding boiled. And then I was thinking about soldiers living on nothing but their meat and a simple flour ration. Also, many period recipes cover putting apples inside of a pudding and boiling that. Those two ideas I thought we'd put together and make a simple soldier-style pudding, nothing but flour and an apple off of a tree and wrapped in a little bit of scrap cloth. Just what a soldier might be able to make. So let's make up a very simple, nothing but flour and water paste. We're just going to take about 2 handfuls of flour. We're going to add in just some nice cool water and then mix that up. Kind of want it to be not very stiff, kind of a paste here. Okay, so not too stiff. We want to be able to form it around it without it fighting. Once that's ready, we need to take our apple, and I've already quartered this. We're going to take out the seeds and the stem. Let's take our quartered apple and put it back together into an apple shape. And then take our paste, which is thickened up a little bit as I was working on it. We're just going to wrap it around that apple so it's all about 1/4 of an inch thick. It grows as it cooks, so it doesn't need to be terribly thick. And there we can see. Now we can put this inside of our floured cloth. And let's flour this up. And now it's time to wrap it up in that cloth. We're just going to set it in the center and gather it up. You definitely want to give it a little bit of room so that it can grow while it's cooking. Not too tight. Let's go toss it in. Let's make sure our water is boiling, and it should take about an hour for this apple pudding. While this is cooking, we're going to cover a quaking pudding. Those don't take very long to cook either. So quaking pudding is much more like that modern day pudding idea that we have in our heads. Let's take a look at the ingredients. So let's put together this pudding. We're going to put together our dry ingredients first and then our wet ingredients. We're going to need about 1/2 cup of flour. We don't have to be precise. This is definitely different than the plum pudding. The ratios are much different. Well, a lot less flour and a lot more liquid parts. About 1/2 cup of flour. Now let's put in we need about 2 tablespoons of sugar. I got this pretty much pre-ground up. And there we are. We need some salt, maybe 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We're definitely going to need some of those same kind of spices. We've got some mace here, a teaspoonful. We've got some ground ginger, same amount. So you'll need 1/4 to 1/2 of a nutmeg grated up. For our last dry ingredient, I have some almonds here. I've got maybe 1/2 cup of slivered almonds. We're going to mash these up. So once these are good and mashed up, we can add these to our dry ingredients, or the rest of them here. There we are. Now we need a cup of heavy cream and 4 eggs. We actually want 2 whole eggs and just the yolks of the other 2, and then we're going to whisk these together. So there are our eggs and our cream. We want to get these whisked really well. Now that we've got these all mixed, put our wet and dry ingredients together. There we are. And once these are well mixed, we need to get our pudding cloth ready. Okay, now we've got our cloth, but instead of putting it in the boiling water and then flouring it, this one we want to seal a little tighter. So we're going to butter it first and then flour it. Get it to smear all the way into our fabric. There, now once it's buttered, we can just put our flour on just like before. Now we can take our buttered and floured cloth and put it in a bowl and pour our pudding mix in. Here we are, and tie it up. This is another pudding that you want to give a little bit of room to grow. And there we go. And it's ready to go in. Let's make sure that water's boiling. Okay. This quaking pudding should take about a half hour to cook. Now that quaking pudding is cooking, we're going to make a quick sauce with some butter and some sugar. When you use these pipkins, you want to make sure that you don't put them on direct heat with flames. You want to use them only on coals. You want to make sure that you always have something in them, or else they'll get too hot and they'll crack. And use them gently with gentle heat. It's been about a half hour for the quaking pudding and about an hour for the apple one, so both of those should be ready to come out. Let's cut open this apple pudding or apple dumpling. And there is our pudding. Let's slice it and see how it turned out. There we are. And look at that. You'd be amazed with nothing but a little bit of flour and one apple what you can turn out. It's really good. So I haven't found much about soldiers doing boiled puddings yet, but there is a piece in Joseph Plum Martin's book about soldiers coming and stealing a woman's food, including her pudding, bag and all. And now for our quaking pudding. This one's a little bit more, you have to be more gentle with it. Now let's dress this up with a few slivered almonds and then pour the sauce on top. Wow, that's delectable. You'll love this wonderful quaking pudding. A lot more custardy than the other ones, not nearly as bready. And that butter and sugar on top with the almonds, it looks beautiful and it tastes good.